Hello YouTube, Vlogger Reds here, and this week my video is in response to a video done by MTV News called Open Letter to Young Americans. This video is a bullshit video. MTV have gone too far, and this video is one great big fuck you to MTV News. And it seems I'm not the only one, judging by the 84% dislike rate on the video. With all that out of the way, let's begin.
To the young and the fearless.
To the young and fearless. Sounds a bit contradictory to the title of your video, as not all young Americans are fearless.
You are not the first to walk this shadowed path named America.
Bashing the US now Trump is president by saying that America is a shadowed path because of course they do. They're the opposite of the far-right American supremacists. They're American subordinates. MTV News hates white people. The US has had a fucked up history, therefore it's okay to bash the US and all white people. 0 out of 10 logic, MTV News.
This road was not paved by presidents, though they stand as markers defining distance gained and hazards along the way.
Distance gained and hazards along the way. What the fuck does that even mean? It sounds like you guys and gals at MTV are calling for the oppressed to rise up against America now Donald Trump is president. Look, I know you guys despise Trump, but to call for violence, rioting, and maybe even a race war because your goddess lost, get out of here with that bullshit.
These cobblestones were laid by the hands of dreaming slaves and hammered in place by feet marching from Selma.
How long? Not long. Because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends.
Quote mining fallacy, but besides that, look, I agree with the quote from MLK, but the way MTV is using it in this video is simply disgraceful. MLK is turning in his grave because of this video right now.
With suffragettes starving for the right to vote and queer people at Stonewall rioting and building barricades, our way was made.
So the message I got from this part of the video was that MTV News wants people to starve, riot and form barricades in the streets as forms of protest against Donald Trump. Sounds like MTV News is trying to incite violence, riots and maybe even a race war. Well, of course, because MTV News thinks all white people were part of the KKK.
Not by those who stand still, staring at their feet, begging for the light to draw near, but by those who stepped forward and fought for us to see the way more clearly.
Yep, inciting violence and rioting and maybe even a race war, which black people would lose, by the way.
There are those who will try to trip us and slow us down.
Who's they, MTV News? Who's, quote, trying to trip us and slow us down? Stop otherizing and dehumanizing people and just flat out tell us who you are talking about.
And in the face of so much injustice, we are a resilient people. We are a fierce people.
Quote mining fallacy. Another one. This time against Laverne Cox, someone who would probably be on MTV's News' side. I will link up the full transcript, and in it you will see that she's talking about transgender rights, people who inspired her, and talking about her experiences at an event created by and for transgender people. She's not trying to incite riots and a race war, you retards.
They stand with their backs to the light, turned away from our collective freedom, but we must move around and over and through them, as those who have paved the way did time and again.
Again with the otherizing and dehumanizing those people you don't like. Just tell us who they are. And you talk about climbing over, around and through they to get to the light. And to do it through rioting and to incite a race war. You guys using MLK and the suffragettes to push your narrative is both horrifying and disgraceful.
So clear the path however you are able.
By however you are able. So does that include rioting, killing people and trying to incite a race war? Well, it must be for MTV News since they did say, by however you are able.
Help those who stumble and stand in the way of those who would stop us for fear of being left in the dark in turn.
Wow, so do exactly the same to the other that the other tries to do. Now what happens when you try to do that? Well, I think this quote, in some form said by Gandhi, though not 100% clear on the exact wording, we'll find out easily. Quote, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Do not let their fear of another's liberation become your own. We must keep moving forward.
Well, you guys aren't promoting liberation. You guys are promoting depowering the oppressors and making them the oppressed, and following the an eye for an eye mantra, which, as I said earlier, leaves the whole world blind.
We are not the first to walk this shadowed path, but together we can be a beacon showing others the way.
Yeah, show others the beacon of the way to a race war. But at least you show the protests, the peaceful ones, even though you idiots want riots and a race war. So yeah, a massive fuck you to MTV for trying to promote violence, riots and a race war. May your entire channel go down in a blaze of feces. So that is my video for this week. I hope you found it interesting. Please rate, comment, share and subscribe, and have a great day everyone.